Okay, so now that you guys have had a chance to revisit chapters 1 through 4, I want to zero in on chapter 4. Okay, we're going to do a deep dive of argument and RA in the Gatsby, the Great Gatsby. Okay, no laughing. No fun having, no, you're laughing fun. Okay, so if you recall, this is the chapter, we've got a lot going on in chapter 4 of Gatsby. So this is after Nick has experienced several of the summer parties. He has begun to make determinations and evaluate characters, right, based on the East Eggers, West Eggers, okay? He's also starting to, most importantly, come to know Gatsby, right? This is an excerpt, that crazy car ride that they took. Gatsby appeared at his door and said, "I'm taking you to lunch," and Nick proceeded to question him a bit. Gatsby offered some interesting answers, right, about where he was from, who he knew, always producing an artifact, always producing something to prove who he was. And Nick, at this point, is still buying into it, right? He thinks something's up with Gatsby, he can't quite put his finger on it. And he's drawn to Gatsby, so he wants to be a part of this circle, right? So that's kind of at the point where we are here. We have an extensive flashback, right? Jordan's account of Daisy's wedding day that I want you guys to talk a little bit about. That is revelatory, right? You come to find out that maybe she wasn't really as excited about marrying Tom as it seemed, right? So there's that. Anyway, so what I want to do is, I've got 5 questions I want you to focus on that will walk us through an evaluation of Fitzgerald's argument, as well as rhetorical strategies he employs in this chapter specifically. So as you're discussing, as you're responding to the questions on your, on your group doc, make sure everything you say is focused on this chapter. Okay, so don't talk big picture. Talk chapter 4 analysis. Okay, so your questions, and this is shared with you on a document in Drive. So you're going to again create one document for your group and share it with me so I can see it, okay? And everybody's gonna collaborate on the same document. But let's take a look at the questions here. So you can tell that I was trying to get you to tap into argument and RA at the same time. Excuse me, I've got hiccups now, that's great. Okay, number 1 asks you to consider the vastly different depictions of East Eggers, West Eggers, and talk about how those depictions specifically support Fitzgerald's claim about wealth versus happiness that we've been talking about. But what is it, how does this support the claim in this chapter? Okay, number 2, talk about Wolfsheim and Baker. Specifically, how do those 2 characters support your response there? Okay, so 1 and 2 go together closely. Number 3, explain the significance of Baker's account of Daisy's wedding day. Really take a minute and talk about the importance of that. Number 4, what rhetorical strategies does he employ in chapter 4? So now we're getting that RA component. Give me 3 with text evidence. Okay, think common topics, think comprehensive device list. Those are the kinds of things I want you to talk about. Right? This is not literary analysis, remember, it's rhetorical analysis of a piece of fiction. But I'm going to constantly be reminding you of that. Okay, argument, all right. And then lastly, evaluate the effectiveness of Fitzgerald's argument in this chapter. Okay? Does he effectively propel the plot forward? Is the audience moved in this chapter specifically, and how? So we've got a lot going on in this chapter. Okay? Make sense? Can I answer questions on the questions? Okay, so let's get into Drive, check your... Very simply, I just copied those same 5 questions onto this document. Okay? And I'm going to walk around and see how we're doing. I want to hear an analysis of argument and RA. Okay? In that chapter. So you're going to have chapter 4 pulled up probably too. Okay, I'll give you a minute to get rolling here.
I mean, Jennifer can do chapter 3. I don't care if you want me to do a second one too. I mean, sorry, not chapter 3. I feel
please put, everybody who's in your group, please put your names on the document too, so I can see who did what or. I know you're setting things up, but I want to start hearing you guys talk about supporting claims and devices fixed too, okay? So what are you guys thinking in terms of devices you might explore in this chapter? Anything jumping out at you in particular? What about juxtaposition or comparison?
I was thinking that because like
The beginning.
like the West egg and the East egg, and like the belly oddities thing. That's not this chapter.
For chapter.
And just we are in chapter 4.
Yes, and how that might be like little mini microcosms of society. They talk about like this is like America in these groups of people, right? So, talk about that. Also considers syntax, periodic loose sentence, and how his actual writing style contributes to the effectiveness of the message. Okay, talk about that too. All right, I'm gonna come back. Guys, what do you think? Think about devices, and I have you jump to devices. I'm just curious what you're thinking.
I said flashback for the wedding day to talk about that.
Probably juxtaposition. It's like everywhere in the book, so
Yeah. So let me ask you about the flashback. So how would that? I absolutely think it's really incredibly important piece of the puzzle, and it's a really clever way that Fitzgerald was able to use flashback to slide that bit of Daisy's past in the story. So how would you talk about how it supports the argument?
Kind of just that I don't know, happiness is made through the money, whereas like through like relationships and stuff. And I think it also just goes back to like even like the alcohol, because I know she got drunk to just like disregard her feelings. I think that just goes back with like the money, like having the money so to have that, and it just I'm trying to think of how to put this. It just goes back to like disguising how they truly feel with this money. That's it. And it's just like cover up.
And if I can just interject one more thing, think about the shift. So you talk about juxtaposition and flashback. It almost like helps to reinforce that shift in the perspectives on the American dream and the lengths to which people will go to attain that dream, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna leave you alone. Good job.
In signature where it's a launch party, they're the ones that that's the more like new money, and they're like flashy, all of that. It's like, I think, in my opinion, the West Eggers show more of fake happiness, and they present more of a mask, but
The East Eggers have like more decor, like you know what I mean?
but it talks about this guy who's stringing his wife. So it's like, it's showing that despite their well-being, and despite what they're presenting, it's not.
And I think it's like it's because in the East Egg, their version of happiness that they have to present is a lot more tame. So like there's the East Egg person, they're like all happy because they're it's like both the wealthy people are like neither of them are really like happy people. They're all like they're just like differently presenting that to society, and like I'm not that sad. I also was gonna touch on that, like saying like there's established differences between like East Egg and West Egg and like people living there, but in general, like all these wealthy people are like not happy. I think they're just like so consumed with the idea of like the new the new American dream, like the standard of that it's like they just need to have material value. They just need to have like these people, I feel like what's trying to be like told is that these people are so unhappy that they're overcompensating with material value. Like that's why they have so many things.
The more they attain, the more unhappy they become. right? It's like they can't get out of they can't get out of the cycle, they can't stop, which is a commentary on capitalism. And I think we guys touched on that yesterday in our session. But talk about what I'm hearing, and explore this a little bit more, the shifts in the perceptions of the American dream, the evolution of the American dream, what it turned into, and how does that attach, how does that align with Fitzgerald's portrayal of this shift in the American dream?
Going back to like the scene, like the quote you were talking about, how like the guy strangled his wife. I think that really, and for me, emphasizes
At the same time, they also have this sort of inherent I'm better than you kind of attitude because they've always had like wealth in their family and they didn't have to like work for it. So they're living comfortable lives and sort of like
it's like happiness comes from actual
like they've always known wealth, so they think they're more fashionable or something like that.
And have the mindset I'm married because of this. They're also more traditional in their like in the ways of like showing this, I guess, like in the ways that they
Traditional, conventional. And I may have heard me say this too, if I just interject something, talk about this shift. Has to align with Fitzgerald's argument, what he's saying about this evolution of the American dream, how it's changed. Like what's wrong with this, Gatsby's, perspective of what the American dream should be versus what's better about what.
So Gatsby, like, while he longs for like the connection with Daisy, what he tries doing with that is he throws his like parties that are like lavish, just to see her, as if he wants to sort of impress her as well. But
He thinks that's what she wants.
yeah, so he looks over at her house over there with the green lights and what Tom and Daisy have in their comfortable life. He's like, I wish that could be me. I can have this big house. And I can have this generational wealth that we want to marry into.
Yeah, I feel like Daisy wants more of like the like she wants the wealth because she wants to have like more of a comfortable life. She's not really those like partiers which he's trying to wow her, but she just like wants to live that like yes like wealthy but like comfortable like settled life.
Yeah, like he's more focused on like what it looks like from the outside than actually like in from the inside.
And it's Jordan Baker. That's correct.
Yeah.
Ironically, right? She's sort of that in between. There's Jordan Baker and Wolfshire. Gatsby somewhere in there. But ironically, she's the one who's able to tell him very clearly because she's just like him. Jordan Baker. She can tell him. I mean, this is really what she's not interested. Okay, awesome. What devices do you think is like? I know I'm jumping. If you're jumping, pushing you out of the argument zone.
He's like juxtaposing the west side.
And that's the correlation of that, using the juxtaposition showcases the shift for the two different shifts. Awesome. You can use, or turn those terms on verb, right? Juxtaposes.
So Stuart, we were talking about for rhetorical strategies. I said syllogism because Gatsby kind of believes that, like, he knows that Daisy loves money just like all the other women, and he's like, well, if I have a lot of money, then it must be true that she'll love me too. Because she likes money. I love that too. So she's like kind of making assumptions, like he's making assumptions and conclusions. Like that's just
That is, I've not heard that yet today.
hello. I'm surprised.
Awesome. Yeah, so an inferred syllogism, right?
it ties into like why he keeps throwing all these lavish parties. He's like, oh, if I throw these extravagant ostentatious parties and like have this really lavish lifestyle, she'll take note of that and be like, oh, this guy has money, I like it. But he's like, it's just backfiring on him. He's making a name for himself in the community, sure, with everyone but her. She really does not care.
Even though they had a past relationship, you would think it'd be easier for him to get to know her, but she doesn't show up at all and keeps going instead of actually trying to connect with her.
Yeah,
Like
right.
a human connection.
Right, a genuine connection would be a letter, phone call, just knocking on her door. doing
Yeah,
everything
I
else.
feel like he set them up for a wedding day, but then for this, it's like, oh, let me just throw a party across the documents where, like, he bought the house specifically there, so she would see that.
I feel like his reasoning is really flawed because he's like, ah, yes, I like this person. I'm going to flaunt my wealth instead of, you know, trying to get to know this person. When they had a past relationship and technically there should be a relationship of some in some aspect already there for him to build on, and he's just not building on that.
It's hard to identify real genuine relationships at all in the story.
He purposely did it, like instead of through all these parties, because he knew that, like, I'm pretty sure Stacey married Tom like financial security. So he's like, okay, well, forget trying to get jobs. I show her that I'm financially secure.
I'm gonna skip all that.
Skip all that and go to the last. That's his American dream is to be somebody else. His is just to be good enough for her. So I think everyone else wants to go to his house because that's when they have rumors about him and all of that. It's like, oh, this is a rich guy with all this stuff, but no.
I think that relates to like Fitzgerald's claim about love happiness because he has all the wealth that he needs, but he can't really spend it to get happiness. Like you can't like buy Daisy over like she doesn't really care about her life. So
Yeah, way to segue back. So you guys just tied all that together. Isn't that something? 4th block too. Awesome. 4th block. Good job, guys. Okay. Carry on.